Welcome to April's Garage. We have a special guest, Elliot Elvis. You've been here a couple times before.
Yes.
Our car simps, or not car simps, just our simp episode.
Yes.
In April's Garage.
Where we talked about simping. This was before the format of mostly cars, where we just talked about simping in general. And I thought, who's the biggest simp I know? And it was Elliot to have interview. So, but then the game show was car related, right?
Yeah, most of them. And then, no, it's happy to be here in a car context.
You are the competition. I don't know. This is kind of...
Yeah, the second best auction in the world.
No, it's not. We're going to talk mad crap on this.
Totally. Yeah.
But the Worldwide Auctioneers just had their Auburn, Indiana sale.
That's our big one. Yep.
And there's 3 days of cars.
Sure was.
And what I'm jealous of is... Elliot, he does similar to what April and I do with Barrett-Jackson Auctions, but he actually gets to drive the cars up on the block, and then they come to him with the commentary just as he's driving it up, which is really cool.
It is very cool.
It'd be very complicated and hard to do that with Barrett-Jackson with all the other things to figure out, but you're able to do it.
Yes, and it's so cool. Like I said, I didn't even start out doing that. It was something that I proposed to them, and I figured they'd be like, that's impossible. And they were like, do you want to try it? And then it was like, everyone loved it, and they were like, that's going to be the thing from now on.
Well, I feel like it'd be difficult because you're trying to think of what you're doing. You're live streaming or wherever you're live.
Right.
And then you work at a manual, you have a co-host in your seat. Like, there's a lot going on. There's people walking around. You don't want to run them over. So
it's not as crazy or crowded as Barrett. It can get crowded. But
yeah, we don't allow people on the stage, luckily, because that could make it even worse. But yeah, there's a lot going on with driving the car you probably haven't driven before, stopping in the right place, thinking, getting ready to go.
Do you ever worry that you're going to kind of, not make it, or just kind of like...
Oh, yeah.
Have you stalled a car coming up?
I stalled a Ford GT in Scottsdale, and I was like, oh. And it's worse because I've driven them before, but it was like, there was something happened, and I wasn't ready for it, and they were like, go, no, go now. And I got up there, and I got to, like, the crest of the stage and killed it, and I was like, oh.
Did it sell, or did it no sell because you killed it?
I think it sold, but again, I've got a lot going on.
Bidders can look at him and be like, okay, he might not be able to handle that. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Usually it's pretty good, unless, like I said, sometimes the cars are you're helping them across stage more so than anything else, as you know from being in the auction business.
Yeah. So I am jealous of that sense. The thing that makes it a little harder, and it's the same with every other auction but Barrett-Jackson, is most of the cars have a reserve on it at Worldwide. So a lot of them don't sell, and like you're hoping for this big magical moment with a multi-million-dollar car, and it's just like the bidders aren't in the room. It doesn't meet the seller's reserve. So that's the one thing that not to put you down too much, but that's what makes Barrett-Jackson so amazing, is like every single car's no reserve. So every moment's like a big moment. We know it's going to sell for the most part, unless it's like
scary. I feel like I have the balls to sell a car at no reserve, and you're talking about doing again at Barrett-Jackson a few cars, and I'm just like,
it's fun.
It makes me nervous.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's gambling,
but there are some no reserve cars.
We have quite a few, but yeah, usually the big ticket items are gonna be, like when it's for sure a 7-figure car.
Well,
people just don't want to risk that.
Like I know no reserve brings more people in the room, so it's the psychology of it, because most people are like April, they don't want to risk it.
Right.
Like Doug DeMuro has talked about, like no reserve on cars and bids. It brings out so many more bidders watching it, because there's so many people think it's no reserve, it's going to sell. I have to watch it.
Right.
It might be a deal. And similar to, I think recently at Monterey Car Week, I think it was it Bottoms that had the run of Bugattis that were all no reserve.
Yeah.
Scary.
And so there was like a Chiron the day before at another sale that didn't even come close, because everybody was waiting for the run of no reserve cars, which happened to be, I think, 5 or 4 of the top 10 in the Monterey sale, which we did as a video. So it's interesting psychology between the reserve and no reserve stuff.
And where you place the cars and what day they go into. There's a lot to go on.
Right. So we assembled, just for Elliot, to give us commentary, since he gets to drive them, the lucky jerk, the top 5, which I told him, like, what were the top 5 sales? And Elliot just said, I don't know.
Okay, I mean, I had some clue, but
it was... You just called him when he, landed on his flight at, 10 o'clock at night.
But it really was, I can't explain. I know you're busy, there's a lot going on, but especially if I'm driving it and I'm getting pushed off the stage and I don't know what I can't hear after a certain point, and I'm running back to get something else, and plus I have to run back to do off-air commentary, too. So I've literally learned to, unfortunately, tune out, or fortunately, just that auction, the room, unless I'm literally not talking about it and sitting there looking. It's about the only times when I remember what it goes for.
Well, you're also not looking to bid on these cars yourself, like some people, a lot at the auctions,
So, number 5, pretty cool one.
It was.
67 Shelby GT500.
Yes.
And is this Highland Green, like the
this one is
68 was Highland Green.
Moss green.
This is the color bed, but it's such a good spec. I mean, you're used to seeing them blue with white stripes, white with blue stripes, what red, whatever. I think this is a really cool, like, understated, spec. And it was a manual.
The value's kind of stagnant with these because they've been top for a long time.
I don't know if they're stagnant, but yeah, they've kind of been about this. Yeah, I mean, I guess they are. They've plateaued because I mean, it's like any car from this age. Anybody who wants one probably already has one now. And
it wasn't cheap. It was $335,000.
It's not cheap.
So that's pretty strong.
But this one had all the stuff with it. So like Corvettes and stuff, Mustangs have also all of these different Marty reports. And
this one had the deluxe Marty report, which is great because you actually have verified history on the cars. Like a lot of cars you can't do. There's some other cars that we're going to go over where the history is kind of, you're not sure what happened. With this one, you know for sure.
This one had, all the right things, all the documentation, great color combo that's, you don't not often seen. And it was a manual. It's like, this was the car to have. I mean, heck, they made a whole movie around a modified one of these. I mean, I'm happy it sold, and I think it went for above high estimate, so they were very happy with it.
Yeah, I would say it's a strong sale. I mean, I'd love to get a 68 personally. They're half the price as a 67, obviously, because the 67 is
different?
They're a little bigger. The body style is a little. It's kind of you could see it if they were right next to each other. But yeah, there's something there where it's like the 67 is just that's the one for Shelby's.
I mean, that's the first year that the 500 came out.
Yeah, I think so because it was GT350s before that.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, 68 is just it's not quite as pretty, but it's half the price, and you get the same engines and everything. And so I've never been like, why do anyway? So it's really cool to see. That was a very good result. So number 4, I know nothing about this hoopty.
What is this?
Yes.
I was reading about it, and it's like Italian design with American engine in it. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
So think about it. So this is a 1968 Iso Grifo, and think of it like a Di Tommaso Pantera. It's the same kind of concept of sexy Italian body, big American engine, and so like I said, they didn't make a lot of these, and this one also had all of its ducks in a row as well. And unlike the Pantera, which used the 350 Cleveland and or whatever you want to say, this had a 7-liter, and I don't even remember what it was out of. But I mean, especially in '68, having that large of a motor, it's just a very unique car. Even the hood arrangement on this thing, it has like a hood scoop. That whole thing was functional, but it literally was looked like stacked slats. And then it has this huge curved
It's a really sexy car.
It was a very cool car.
And this one had an after-made sunroof on it, which is a very rare option.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like I remember saying it was it was a rare option. I think it's back in the day when you'd have to send it to a shop, but I think it was done in period because they were using it as a selling point. Like, and this one has the desirable whatever company name.
It's
not the cut-in 1970s plastic one.
It's a little bit of like a T-top type of configuration.
Kind of, yeah, because it's body colored. And, it's definitely like they sent it to a place afterwards.
Well, this one sold for $346,000, so it beat out the Shelby for something. I guess I've probably never seen one in person before. I mean, maybe I might have looked at one at a Concorso Italiano a long time ago.
I forgot if they mentioned here how many they made, but it's just not that many.
Right.
But yeah, no, they also
they made 330 of them.
300. See, that's good. She
prepares.
Yes.
You just
don't like me. I just wing it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the other thing they did, if you were in the room, which they haven't been doing, but I think they dimmed the lights and they had a cool video and had like a whole presentation for this car, which I think is going to help.
Did they have someone with an accent?
I
know, you guys do it too. I'm just saying, we're new at it, we're a little smaller. But.
You need someone with like a cool Italian accent talking about it too. That's going to help the sale of it. But that's great. That's a car that everyone's going to turn their heads. Like someone like Tyler Hoover that doesn't even know what that car is. Like that's going to be turning heads.
It definitely surprised me because I was like, wait, what's that? I've heard of it. Like, what?
I know. You'd be like, yeah, what is this and how much is it worth? Because if you don't know, you're like, this could be worth $60,000. This could be worth.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted.
I got my Barrett Jackson right here, the greatest collector car auction in the world.
Right. I did not wear branding because
let's not rub it in anymore. Let's not. Okay, Elliot's little auction's fine. They're very nice.
And I will say, April calls me when you're busy about the auction stuff. She's like, what do I got? I got this. I got to do something to hit on this. And I'll be like, okay, say these things. I can't tell because I'm not looking at it.
Right.
You do help me out a lot.
So this one, everybody should know. The next, I guess, number 3, a 2024 911 GT3 RS, which we're still living a crazy world where Porsches sell for double their MSRP or close to it.
I mean, this is like the real driver's Porsche that was naturally aspirated, which you guys are like, oh, that's the real, like, on the road, no hybrids, no nothing like that. Like, this is a real driver's car.
And you're right. It is. This one, you know, of course, it's just one of those things we were advertising this and a 296 GTB just kind of as these are the it cars right now that are very hard to get because anybody who got one, they got an allocation and they either are holding on to it or they're flipping them for outrageous money. Obviously, this gentleman chose to flip it with Worldwide Auctioneers. But yeah, I was around this car for like a full week. And what struck me is not often see 911 GT3 RSs in yellow, but this one was optioned. So it had the Y-Sock package, but steel brakes. And I don't think I've ever seen, I think you have to like option that because I feel like they come stock with carbon ceramics.
Because ceramics can be annoying on the street and all that stuff.
They are.
It had $47,000 worth of options. What is in the Wasrak package, Elliot, from Worldwide Auctions?
The Wysock?
Vysock?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you get with that?
Well, it depends. They change it all the time. No, literally, they do this thing, like Porsche loves the options, and Tyler knows this too. What they'll do is you get the Y-Sock package, and all of a sudden now it doesn't have a radio or a heater or any of the stuff again, but you get more aggressive suspension and it's lighter. You know, you get the seat stitching, and then you have to option back in things that the base car already had. So that's kind of one of the appeals is that you know someone really went for it on the options.
On the 918s, that package adds $1 million of value to it, even though it didn't cost all that much. It just made it more crazy, more hardcore. And yeah, probably the stickers probably not quite 300 on this thing.
Yeah,
probably,
I don't know.
Like, they 300 around $300,000. It sold for $417,000. So nice flip.
Wow.
Own it for a year or two and then flip it, make $100,000.
I mean, I don't think he drove it. I think it had like
very low miles.
Very low miles.
1,600 miles. He had some fun.
Okay, he did. Yeah, right. That's more than a lot of the people could do.
Those are like the break-in miles.
Yeah, for sure.
So number 2 is something very, very, very pretty. This is probably my favorite car of your sale outside of the honorable mention, which we'll get to later. But yeah, 1940 BMW 328 Roadster.
Yes. So this was a really interesting car because first of all, like we've talked about, and you're a German car enthusiast, pretty much anytime you see a pre-war German car, you're like, whoa, that's crazy.
Especially 1940.
Right.
That's kind of right in there.
They're building this in 40 when they're actively at war.
Right.
Which is...
Well, I think it won the Millamia in 1940 as well.
Yes, one of these. I don't know if this one did. But yes, so they made the 328 not like the ones we think of today as a regular sedan. This is like a very like alloy, hand-formed race car looking thing. And they made this in several different body forms. So they would use that same chassis and they would kind of, depending on the bodies, wherever race it was used for. This one was kind of the Milia trim.
Right.
Even the seats were part of like the chassis. Like, and they were just kind of these, they looked like, it's funny to say, they looked like lawn chairs that just had leather straps.
Did you drive it?
Leather and
I wanted to, but here's this. It was one of the first cars I went up to when I got there. I opened it up and got in. And first of all, I could barely get in it. And then to operate the gas pedal, my knee was hitting one of those knobs, and then I couldn't really get my knee under in a place where I could push the clutch pedal in.
So it'd be someone really short.
You had to be someone pretty short. Because I mean, I'm of average
Jake's
height.
waving his hand. Jake, you
but
can
yeah, I was like, sure, I can get into this. And I was like, oh, I literally cannot. I could not safely drive this vehicle, but I wanted to.
Yeah,
because it is so cool.
Amazing race pedigree, work of art. Just so the price, it feels like BMWs just don't get the love as much as some of the old French racing cars or Mercedes Goings or whatever. So they have $491,000, which just seems like it is for something that beautiful, that significant. It seemed like a deal to me. I don't know what they're worth. It may have been a great price for one of these, but just in reference to the car and what it is.
Right.
I thought it was a deal.
And I know you're going to talk about the buck teeth look and whatnot, but when I saw that, I got really excited because that's a look that I feel like you don't see in cars.
Oh, because the new 3 Series look like that, but we all hate it.
A little bit.
Yeah, back then they did the huge kidneys as well. I think what it is like the classic BMWs you see pop up, like the 507. Everyone's, first of all, love that car. There's pictures of Elvis in it and stuff like that. This pops up and you go, I know that's cool. I know it's a BMW, but I've never seen or heard of it before. But car guys will be like, I'd like to know more. I can already tell without knowing anything about it. It's significant. But I think that either is what helped and hurt its price, because it's just one of those cars that you have to be so ingrained in BMW, especially like really pre-war BMW stuff. Or I guess, like I said, kind of mid-war.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, it was a really neat car and absolutely just as beautiful in person.
Beautiful machine. Number 1, though, is something that I love. Something you loved enough to make a video on.
I did.
I didn't know this existed. So they sold prototypes of the 4 GTs. 2004 4 GT prototype. So VIN number 7, right?
Right. Yeah, and it's, yes, confirmation. See, the CP, so the whole thing is it's CP4/007. The CP stands for confirmation prototype.
Okay.
And I made it in my video because, like, the thing is, in person, it looks like an absolute no option for GT because it doesn't have the bottom stripe, it doesn't have the outside stripe, it doesn't have the BBS wheels, and it doesn't have the Macintosh radio. So
but no stripe is more desirable now.
Now it is.
Yeah, but there's also like Velcro inside, and the specs are different than the one that went to production.
So yeah, the first thing is here, you notice it's a 2004. They only made the GT in 05 and 06.
Right.
So that should already be like a tip of like, what do you mean? How's that possible? And somebody somewhere at Ford was involved enough in the program that, you know, there's an order, like today's the day these are going to the crusher. And there was like 3 or 4 guys hid these GTs and they escaped
from
being crushed. Because I mean, they really are significant cars as prices reflect.
And this one in particular is a really good driving car because it was one of the first prototypes to actually hit that 200 miles an hour.
It did.
Is that normal for like prototype cars to be that drivable and that functional?
I would say not often. Like I said, especially in the case of the Ford GT, they made several of them that would only go like 10 miles an hour because they'd bring them to shows and stuff. And for this one, it had just such an odd life. I mean, obviously these were a lot more to put together than like a pre-production Corvette. So this one main purpose was to test and verify the climate control, which sounds like a silly thing to build an entire car for. But they were like, well, it's also here, so let's run it up to 200.
Right.
And so, you know, they have all this documentation in this book that it came with. But it's like, this was a real running, driving Ford GT.
Can I ask you about the grommets in this seat?
Yes.
Now, in the actual production cars, they're for you, they would be.
It is kind of a fart sponge.
But like I've heard people say, look, air conditioning comes out of them, or there's just for ventilation, or it's
to evoke the look of the GT40.
Right.
Yeah. And the other question on the production car, there's silver filled in there. And the question I always get is, boy, isn't that uncomfortable? Isn't there plastic in your back? And I remember thinking that when they first came out.
Right.
You don't feel
it.
I got to drive one recently and was like, this is so good. That was originally what I was thinking of, you know, getting out of the Bugatti and then just having a Ford GT free and clear and just riding off the sunset with that.
I don't feel bad for him at all. Get out of the Bugatti or the Ford GT.
It was still cool. I got to drive this one. I made a video of it, and like this is what's kind of special about my position too. Is like I get to like not just like putter around. Like I can drive it.
Yeah.
And
until you stack one up, and then
I'm really hoping that this was the one I was probably most nervous of because I was like, please don't have a problem or get away from me out on the road.
Because the price $775,000.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Wow. It would take because a Heritage would hit that number.
A Heritage,
like a no mile, no stripe car might hit that number. But we're not in the $1 million yet for an 0506. And I don't think one has made it quite yet, but that's up there.
Right. But the other thing I want to say about this, because it was a prototype car, yes, it's quite expensive and valuable, but this car was driven hard.
Yeah.
It's like entire life. And I thought that was kind of a cool thing about it. Yes, you're paying for it, but it was like, you could actually just drive the crap out of this GT. And because it's a pre-production car, it didn't even have an odometer. So you don't have to worry about putting miles on it because who knows how many it has on it right now.
That's amazing.
But yeah, that was a really special car to be around. And,
what was it like when it sold? Was there a lot of people there? Were there a lot of bidders? Like,
it was another one that I was driving on stage because I wanted to do like, hey, I was driving this earlier this week kind of thing. But yeah, there was buzz for sure. I was in another few cars that unfortunately didn't sell that they did videos for and stuff like that because we had a Countach and a Vector. And they just almost didn't quite get there yet. But yeah, you could feel the excitement for a lot of these huge cars here.
Yeah, it was really cool that you drove a Vector. I was very jealous of that. The one, of course, I wanted to talk about is, as far as the no sales,
of course,
is the Goldwing at 55, same year as mine. This one's black though, and
this is an early production car, the 99th made, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but green interior, which is weird.
It wasn't born that way.
It was, so I think it started out silver with blue.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Which is what people want.
With the plaid,
the summer seats, as you taught me.
Why would somebody? Okay, that's interesting. The color change there.
I mean, the same reason for your Goldwing.
Well, they switched mine to a more popular color because mine was gray with red interior, and most people want the silver black, silver blue, because that's like the iconic color for the Goldwing. So to take the iconic color one and then make it black and green is kind of odd.
I also thought it was odd. I mean, obviously, like any other Goldwing, in person, you're still like, all right, this is really nice. And this is one we had as our cover car for our program. It was on the rotating platform for people to look at all week. I mean, definitely a letdown that it didn't sell, but it was, it was the draw of like check this out. This is going to be the big car. And I feel like it had to have gotten, I mean, it got close. Because this is one I didn't even, like, I'm not going to do commentary. I'm not going to attempt to drive. I was like, I'm just going to absorb this moment.
Right.
And you got close. Was it like 1.7?
Yes.
Yeah.
No
See,
sale 1.7.
Right.
But yeah, so this car was a little interesting. It looked perfect. I mean, like any of these cars that are going to go for that price, you could eat off of any surface there. But because it was like a recent restoration or something like that, it was a Silver Arrow car, one of the guys who buy and sell like the most Gull Wings. This one didn't come with binders full of paperwork. This was like a, hey, look it up, it's a Silver Arrow car, which I thought was, I don't know if that helped or hurt it, you know, because the people who are really bidding on these follow these around. They know when one's coming up for sale.
Right.
So I think, you know, it's not like your normal, like if you're looking at Chevelle and you're like, well, I can't verify the paperwork. These cars, they're tracked by the people.
Well, I also feel like it's been raining Gold Wings lately. As far as like
Good for
three
you.
in the last 3 months of bringing a trailer. You know, mine popped up out of the state. There were several in Monterey. So it seems like there's been a flood of Gold Wings lately.
This
so
one
I don't
came
know.
with matching fitted luggage on it.
It
Did you get that?
It was in it.
No, I didn't get the luggage.
Okay.
I didn't get any of that.
I like you, though. I do remember when these were 300 grand. Like, because that's what I always thought. I was like, these are expensive.
Right.
But now seeing them not sell for 1.7 is blowing my mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the disappointment, very cool to see. Immaculate car.
We
I'm
got
sure.
3.5 for one at Barrett Jackson, though.
Wow.
Just FYI.
Well, I mean, it is the best flex car auction in the whole world. Thanks for
Well,
coming on,
definitely is.
Elliot.
Thank you for having me on,
We
guys.
always love having you. From, you know, talking about Simps to Gull Wings. You're the greatest.
Cover a lot of bases here.
You take the hits. I appreciate it. Sorry.
Thanks so much for
Okay,
watching.
thanks for having me.
I kind of hit you hard. Sorry, like my ring, did it get you?
You couldn't get him hard, is that what you said? What? That's what it's, I mean, you literally said that. I was like, wait a second.
You got a rough week, huh?
Man, unsuccessful honeymoon talk about it.
What kind of stress is real?